Welcome back to the last video of this 3-video series on VAT. We are back with Alban Chatagnon, and in this video we'll be discussing e-commerce. Specifically, when we talk about having a Hong Kong company and doing e-commerce in Europe, we are most of the time discussing either Amazon or dropshipping. Sometimes also Shopify with its own stock, but it's quite similar with dropshipping anyway.
Yes.
So, what are the implications of the business model, like Amazon versus other more traditional e-commerce? I would say a business that owns its website, basically. What will be the difference for Shopify, for VAT? Sorry. What are the implications, basically?
So the first thing, we will have to split both things. So the first thing is Amazon. Basically, Amazon is someone who has an online boutique, right? Mm-hmm. So you use Amazon or any other marketplace to sell your product. They will do the communication for you. But on the top of the communication, they will also stock your product for you. So that's why there is an impact of VAT, because you have a stock in one country, as we mentioned in the other video. Because you have a stock, you need to have a VAT number.
Because Amazon will force you to have a VAT number anyway, otherwise you can't even retail there.
Correct. Since about a few years now, in order to open a boutique online, you need to have a VAT number. So every client wants to open at least one VAT number in one country, but most of the time you will have to open 1 to 5 VAT numbers, because in Europe you have the pan-European. It's basically Amazon will spread your product all across Europe in the 5 main countries. So UK, France, Italy, Germany and Spain. So you will have your stock in those Amazon warehouse. That's why it's so fast. So when a German customer orders his product, he will have the product within 2 hours or 24 hours. If the product has to come in from Spain to go to Germany, it will be way more.
But then at that moment, then even if the business doesn't reach the threshold, as there is a stock, you need the VAT number.
Correct.
So
exactly.
that's what we discussed in the second video.
Absolutely.
So if you want more information on that, just
go back on this one. Absolutely. Yeah. So in that case, you sell to B2C. So because you are selling to the final customer, you need to charge the VAT because it's B2C sales. So you will have to get your VAT number. The fact that you have a stock warehouse somewhere is the second reason. And so that's it. Amazon ask for a VAT number every single time now, and you will do your monthly declaration to just declare everything that you have import in Europe and everything that you have sold, and that's it. Quite easy. There's a big impact on each country, because Amazon is becoming bigger and bigger every year. So the amount of sales is also becoming quite huge. And each state wants to preserve the VAT and make sure that each local player are actually paying the VAT. And that's the issue with dropshipping. So you have a lot of dropshipping. We will talk about the main one. Dropshipping is when a company wants to sell to the final customer. So there's a sales between the customer, the final customer will purchase from your company. And actually you will ask to your supplier to ship directly to the final customer.
Yeah, and most of the time you don't even have a real supplier, just buy on AliExpress or Taobao or something like that.
Correct.
So in this case, what is the implication on VAT when this is happening?
So in US it's a bit different, but it's the question that you have to ask is any of the company or the supplier has a VAT number already, because at the end the final customer should pay the VAT, and who will be the guy who will actually charge the VAT to the final customer? Usually, normally I want to say that the company should be able to invoice the final customer with VAT. But what's happened, most of the time the company is based out of Europe, like in Hong Kong, in any other country. So what they are doing, because one sale is one shipping, so basically every time one customer purchases a product, a factory in China will send the product. So because it's one shipment per sale, it's very, very, very difficult to track. So the customs and the fiscal administration cannot check that all the sales are with VAT. But they should be.
And this is why the dropshipping businesses will just put on their website, this is sold without tax and VAT, is at charge of the customer to actually pay it by itself and declare it to its customer.
Absolutely.
But actually most of people, they just don't say anything and the parcel just pass.
Absolutely. And if they have a control, so what will happen, the customer will send a letter to the final customer saying something like, hey, we received your product, please come to our office in order to pay the tax and the custom fee, and then you will be able to get your product. Mm-hmm. So that's how it should do. But people really want who want to be serious, they want to give like the final price to the customer with everything included. Mm-hmm. The shipping, the custom duty, and also the VAT.
Yeah, you know, with drop shipping, I mean, this is on my end of the business. The margins are so slim that if you pay 20% of the value of your goods, basically your margin is gone. You know, so nobody is really doing it at the moment.
But that's why they come to you to make sure that they will pay the profit tax at the right place, and they will not struggle with any other tax of other country like you can find in Europe, for instance. So
Well, we won't go too much into the taxation topic, otherwise we'll really go off track. But yeah, okay. So basically with Amazon and the VAT is that if you have an Amazon store, you need VAT, otherwise you cannot even operate with Amazon.
Correct.
That's the thing.
Yes.
It could be one or several, depending if you just sell in one country or if you opted for the pan-European system. For dropshipping is a little bit more different because well, first you own your website, so if you want to sell, you sell, and there is not that much control, and it's difficult for the customer to track. Now, is it legal to sell without VAT? Hell no, you know, you're supposed to do it. So if you wonder if selling in Europe without VAT is legal or not, go back to the first video, but the answer is no, it's not. But you're supposed to pay the VAT. But now, if you put on your website that the VAT is at charge of the customer, then what you are doing, is it legal or not actually?
Technically, yes, because you have an agreement with the customer and with your company. So
it's legal, you mean?
But you have no way to make sure that the customer will actually pay for it.
Yeah, no, it's his responsibility.
Absolutely.
So if you put this legal mention, at least you kind of cover yourself. But then the customer is supposed to pay the VAT, so you should pay it, but you won't pay it in most of the case because there is no control. That's what you say.
I'm not a legal advisor, so the regulation will change because there is some gray area here. The thing is, to my opinion, each company should be able to provide a sale with VAT. Otherwise, it might be a bit tricky to continue the business later.
Mm-hmm. So in the long run, that might become a problem, especially when the government really start to look at it, because as you said, they love this tax.
Of course.
Okay. So just if you're interested in dropshipping, I mean, you're still in the gray area, but just be careful because in the future this thing will be clarified. Basically, that's
especially because there is a misunderstanding between the VAT on importation and VAT on sales. So people think that you are allowed to not pay VAT on importation if the goods is below 22 euros.
It's not true.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you are not supposed to charge with VAT. So people just mix both information most of the time. So yes, you're allowed to not pay VAT on importation at the beginning, but what about the VAT on sales? And here, the final customer should be able to pay this VAT. Either it will just pay it by himself, stuff that never happened, or the company will be able to collect the VAT in order to pay back the administration. And the only way to do it is to have a VAT number.
Yeah, but if they do that, as we said, business model wise, dropshipping is out of business. So that will be interesting to see, because that will be impacting many dropshippers if this start to be really enforced. Only a main player with because the main issue is because
the margin are too small, so you cannot have. Most of the time, they don't really want to have VAT, otherwise they won't be competitive.
You're not competitive. Correct. Either you don't make money or you're not competitive.
Yeah.
So it's not really working for most of them. Like some manage to make some good margin, but yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, can you also explain us how the intrastat work?
Sure.
It can be a bit confusing sometimes for Amazon sellers.
Absolutely. So once we have opened a VAT number for our clients, they will operate with tax-wise. They will be compliant. So in each country, they will be able to do the declaration for the VAT. This one is for each state, but one thing that is really important is also the transfer of goods. It's the intrastat. Mm-hmm. There is no more border in Europe, but you still need to declare each good coming from one country to another one. So if you move goods from one country to another one, you have to fill in a form in order to do the declaration. Again, it's only once you have reached the threshold. There's a lot of them, so we'll not go into details here. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like, the fiscal representative agent will do the job. They will take care of everything, and you can find all of this information into the Amazon sales report. So you have all of your sales. From where, the amount of tax, to where, to whom. So everything is.
So basically, if they need to do that, they just give you the report and you do it. It's on what, on a monthly basis? Or?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But this has nothing to do with VAT,
It's not linked to VAT, but it's in order to match the fiscal information, so the VAT, and the customs information, the transfer of goods. So at the end of the year, they will match both information, make sure that it match. Otherwise, they might have some issue. So, and you want to make sure that it match.
Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, you get issues, right?
You have some issue with the administration. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you want to add? Any advice for the Amazon sellers or e-commerce in general?
Sure. One big topic for Amazon seller is the cost of the marketplace. So they charge you for the marketing. They charge you for the supply management, like the warehouse, the shipping of your goods. So when our clients reach a proper size of business, what they want to do is to open their own warehouse. So technically, it's not their warehouse. They use a third party to stock their product into their warehouse, and then it's fulfillment. So they will actually push product from this warehouse to all the Amazon warehouses. And the thing is, like, you will decrease your supply chain costs, and so you put everything into a warehouse. Most of the time, it's way cheaper than Amazon, and then you just spread the product only when you need it to.
So they keep using the FBA, but
correct. Yeah.
Okay. So they keep using FBA, but they have more goods in another warehouse that's cheaper than FBA, yes. And then they just dispatch what they needed to dispatch. Exactly. Yeah. And it is cheaper. Like,
it's
what
cheaper
kind of
because
saving they can get?
Everything is automatic, so they will automatically know that you will reach the limit. So let's say, okay, once I have only 100 product in Poland, you automatically push 200 product to this warehouse. So everything is done automatically, and you can save a lot of money. So Amazon, you can have fees like 40% of your price might be a fee that will go to Amazon. So depending on what kind of product you are selling, what kind of services you are using from them. So yeah, you can save a lot of money. So people who are looking for more to gain a little bit more of markup, so that may be a good option. And if you had the cash flow that you have saved at the beginning, if you had an option like yours, so you save at every single stage, and at the end you actually make good money. So
yeah, but actually, so how much they could save with this, more or less, like a percentage?
It's very difficult. It would be like from 1% to 7.5.
Okay, it won't be 20%.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
It won't be that huge, but yeah.
Yeah, but every small percent is good. Actually,
it's good to take. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, good. Well, thanks for your advice, Alban.
Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please put a thumbs up. Also, drop a comment. Also, other topics you would like to be discussed. So I would like to do more of these interviews with experts on different areas related to Hong Kong e-commerce, etc. And yeah, so if you have some interest, some specific topics, just let me know. If you like this kind of format, let me know as well. And we see each other in the next one. So thanks for watching. If you're interested also in ASD services for VAT representation in Europe, I will put a link below with the profile of Alban as well. And if you are looking for opening a company in Hong Kong, you need some help with the process, the maintenance, etc., you can also check ATHENASIA.com, and I put the link below as well. So, and if you want more information, look around the channels and you will see some videos related to company opening, maintenance in Hong Kong, compliance, etc. So I see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.